I love breaking down use of force videos from the police. In the purpose is to educate the public and the police, right? You always have the coulda, right? And that's the law enforcement. That's what they go to. Well, the reason why we did X, he could have done this. He could have done that. And that's the people who defend the cops, the bootlickers, the police who actually sit there and say that just once you handcuff somebody, give them an extra butt with the pistol right in the back of the head or the barrel of the gun, all that crap. And then it's like, well, he could have done this, but he didn't. He didn't. That's the problem. So when I do these police of use of force videos, it's to get the cops out there saying, hey, listen, curb your humanity. It means you got to take it right to that level of where you can cross the line, and don't fucking cross the line, because that's not the job. And that's what you swore the oath to, right? That's why I believe the police, when they act righteously and according to the law and the Constitution and the oath they swore, they're a better human being than I am. 7 days of the week and twice on Sunday, because they take things as far as they need to go lawfully, and they stop. It's when they don't stop that I have a fucking problem with it. And then it's the public side. Whenever use of force videos or critiques, well, the police should have done this. They should have done that. Shut the fuck up. I know you guys can't stand police. I understand that. And I know that a majority of the people who watch police videos, you got two camps. One is either the fuck around and find out crowd. Oh, yeah. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes, that actually egg on and they want the police to be the henchmen of the world that does their dirty work because they love to sit back and lick the Cheetos dust off their fingers while they're scrolling, taking a shit, Monday morning quarterbacking, or the public. And you got the public who's just damn well, they think they know what the police should have done, and they're in the exact same position. Get a dual stall, guys. You can hold hands under the door as you're passing each other the used shared roll of paper towels to wipe your ass, right? As you can tell, I can't stand either side. The police have an extremely difficult job. It's not the hardest job in the world. It's not. It's the most difficult because they have to operate within the gray area when it should be black and white for the most part, but it's not. And within that gray area, especially use of force, the problem is now they're the ones who do it, and the level of expectation on them is the highest to perform at the highest level of anybody. But then again, God, they get away with so much shit. And then they have to appease department policy, meet the threshold of state law, appease the public, appease themselves. And did they do the right thing? It's just an extremely difficult job for what we ask for our police to do. And sadly, we are in a time where the police are asked to do too much shit. Social worker, daycare worker, nursing home care worker. It doesn't matter what it is. We're going to ask cops pretty much to start dishing out prescription meds on scene and waiting 20 minutes for them to kick in before they use force. And it's not right. It's not right. But it all comes back to the standard of police officer we have on the street today. And in a general, totality speaking sense, we have a DEI frame of mind when it comes to police. And this is why DEI is so dangerous when it comes to law enforcement. It's you are now giving someone with a skewed perception of the world to act within a use of force continuum or discretion that is completely subjective on how well they can articulate it. What do I mean by that? You're somebody in your 50s, you got kids. I mean, I don't know, maybe you're somebody in your 30s, right? And you got kids. And your kids are 6, 7, and those little bastards are out of control. And they're acting up at a restaurant. You're at a restaurant, and your kid is picking shit up, silverware, throwing it across the restaurant, hits somebody at the table. You know who you are, you parents who don't discipline your kids. But one of you out there is a parent who's like, man, no. And you classically condition your child. You pick the hand up, you slap the hand. My mother would have 5-starred us right across the face, and sit down, and you are in deep shit when we get home. And somebody calls 911 because, oh my God, you abused your child. 2 cops show up. 1 cop is me, who is 50, who grew up in the 70s, who knows classical conditioning, whose mother read the Dr. Spock book on how to raise kids. Several of you who are watching know exactly what I'm talking about. And then we applied it, and you sit there and you meet with the complainant. What can I do for you? That mother just discipline their child. She smacked him on the hand for throwing silverware across the restaurant. And here's my discretion. Based on the totality of the circumstances, based on the intent of the mother, based on the perception of the caller, man, that's not a police issue. Parents are 100% allowed to discipline their child. I'm sorry you don't agree with it. It's a public issue. I am not taking action against that. And then, of course, the caller's going to call the chief and complain all this shit. Then I'm going to have to explain to the chief, and I'm going to have to plead with the chief not to file I don't want to go down to the state attorney's office and try to get a warrant for the mother now. Shit like that has happened. But the other cop shows up on scene as DEI hire, and they're younger. And they grew up in a household where, no, it was loving, and it was, you got timeouts and blah, 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 blah. And they would never, they're Gen Z, and they would never allow physical discipline. And they arrest the mother for battery because they have every discretionary right to. And because it fits the element of a crime. Battery. Any physical conduct of an insulting or provoking nature. Send them to court. Domestic battery now because it's a mother versus child. And that cop is going to protect the child, and they're going to take him into custody and send him to DECFS, and then DCFS is going to start a year-long investigation. DEI is a disaster for law enforcement, and you can apply that across the board. DEI cops of a certain faith. Oh, I'm Christian. Oh, that's a Muslim who just committed that crime. Oh, I'm going to cite them for everything. Oh, I'm LGBTQ. That guy's got a cis haircut. I'm going to cite him. We don't know the dangers for DEI and what it's done or will do to law enforcement in the long run. But it's a fucking dangerous practice. And this is what we did by decreasing the standards for law enforcement. It should have been, man. The worst thing that ever happened for cops was getting rid of a height requirement and allowing females on the street. I'm sorry. It just is what it is. If this was the 90s and they still allowed or still kept that 5'8" height requirement, I would have never been a cop. And you know what? That's how life is because we have standards. But the second we started allowing everybody to play in the sandbox, then all of a sudden the sandbox became convoluted with personal agendas and personal limitations. These are the problems. We have to have people who are willing to do the job to the letter of the law, to the oath they swore on the Constitution, and righteously. We need to look at this shooting. We're going to look at deputies who shot and killed a man on February 27th for acting erratically. Let's take a look at this and then watch shooting.
Well, breaking news this morning, deputies shot a man at a North Harris County gas station who they say was acting erratically.
Right. Well, we just learned that man later died at the hospital. ABC 13's Courtney Carpenter joining us now live off I-45 near West Road, where all this happened. Courtney, good morning.
Hey, good morning to you, Tamika and Charlie. That's the very latest that we just heard from the Harris County Sheriff's Office. The suspect involved in all this, who was shot by a deputy, did die here at the hospital. This happened around 3:08 this morning. I'm going to step out of the way so you guys can get a better look now that we're a little bit closer. We learned that a guy in an 18-wheeler actually witnessed all this. He's the one that called in and said, hey, there's a guy out here acting erratically and tearing up the gas pumps. I think you're able to see the damage done to the pumps right now. The assistant chief that we heard from says that at first, when this all happened, the deputies got out here, that he was complying. The suspect was complying with the deputies, but then he started to resist, and that's when things took a turn. They say he started fighting with the deputies, and that one of the deputies used her taser on him, but that he kept resisting, and that's when he ended up being shot in the torso. We're told he was shot a couple of times, and obviously that latest update from the sheriff's office that the suspect, a 36-year-old man, did die at the hospital. Now, they clarified the female deputy involved in this was not hurt. The male deputy, though, is the one who was taken to the hospital with some facial injuries. He is expected to be okay, though, and he actually should be released pretty soon.
In the beginning, he started to comply. He laid down. They got one handcuff on him. And at that point, he started to resist and attempted to disarm the deputy that had a taser out at the time.
Yes, the assistant chief went on to say later the suspect actually did get the taser away from the deputy, and that's when things really escalated. So certainly some tense moments out here this morning. And as more and more people are, waking up, getting on the road, clearly still quite the scene out here at this Exxon station right at the corner of 45 and West Road. They said that the gas station will open. They'll be out here just a little bit longer. We'll continue to keep you guys updated. Reporting live here in North Harris County, Courtney Carpenter, ABC 13. Eyewitness News.
Thank you so much, Courtney. Well,
all right, let's take a look at this then. The actual camera footage from the gas station. This is critical incident video. Officer involved shooting case number 2502 09408, February 27th of 2025. Let's take a look. Let's skip ahead a little bit just to
occurred on February 27th.
All right, let's back up.
Especially for children and sensitive viewers. This video is intended to provide information about a critical incident that occurred on February 27th, 2025. At approximately 3:09 a.m., Harris County Sheriff's Office Patrol Bureau deputies were dispatched to a disturbance call reported at the Exxon gas station located at 10303 North Freeway. The caller reported that a man was damaging the fuel pumps.
What's going on again?
I'm parked in my truck behind the store, and a girl came and said that the place was on fire.
Like do you see any flame?
No, I'm gonna pull up right now.
What did she say was on fire?
She said the store was on fire, and this guy's out here tearing up shit. I'm sorry, tearing up stuff.
Your name? Okay. Let me know what you see that way.
Okay, I'm going in. I don't see any fire.
You said
I don't see any fire, any smoke.
Okay, so you said there's somebody there tearing stuff up? What do you mean?
Yeah, you need to, if you could send the sheriff out here he's damaging the pumps, tearing the pumps up. Oh my God, he's just tearing the whole place up, tearing up all the pumps. I don't see the attendant inside, so they're usually inside. They lock the door at night.
All right, you got a subject. He's probably just drugged out of his mind, ripping pumps up and stuff. Criminal damage to property. That's what we have right now. Criminal damage to property is it's going to be a felony. A couple different things. Let's look at this from a very pragmatic point of view. There's no people around. What is this guy doing? If there's people in the store, okay. They are having time enough to evacuate if this gets to be I think they can shut the pumps off. So you see this, I bet you the gas station attendant is going to shut the pump off. This person walking up, okay, this guy's crazy. I'm going to leave, all this crap. He's damaging property. That's it, damaging property. Hopefully he'll tire himself out, but he's probably drugged up like crazy. No, he's going to keep going. I had in September of 2015, it was the day of the G.I. Joe Glenowitz case. I had it was a disturbance in progress call, and it was in a subdivision called Saddlebrook, which is our kind of like our Del Webb retirement community. And it was subject, here's someone trying to break into her home. And my partner at the time was taking a dump. We're almost done. It's like 4:30 in the morning. Our shift is up at 5 o'clock. I'm going to take a couple hours nap at the PD and then go to the funeral. And I drive down there. I call him off. I go, 90, I think it was 9521. I said 9521. I'm 10-2. I'll advise. It means I've got it. I'll advise. I go driving down there. I go lights because it's about 2 miles to get there in the middle of the night with no traffic. And I don't want to drive. I want to fall ass. And I get there and I show up on scene and there's a vehicle on the driveway that's got all of its tires were shredded down to the rims. All the doors were open, and it was a minivan. Every content of the minivan was all over the driveway. The mailbox was ripped out of the post was all ripped out, and it was through the front window. And the front door was kicked in. It wasn't all the way up, and there was a guy. And long and short story, like this, the guy was drugged out of his mind. Long and short of the story, he was there to see his ex-wife who left him with a kid, and he was trying to break into the home to see him because it was his mother-in-law's place. All right, cops show up. I drew down on him, and he didn't resist.
Two
And he was
deputies
right in
arrived
cuffs.
at the scene at 3:12.
So my point is, we want to talk about shooting. In that specific instance, could I have shot an unarmed man who was erratically throwing stuff all over the place, trying to kick in the door? No, because he wasn't trying to break into the house when I got there. He was just throwing shit all over the place, property damage. And I'm a guy, and I'm defensively, tactically trained, and I'm a big dude for a short guy and all this shit. And if I had shot him, it would have been, well, you were in fear for your safety because what? Guy was throwing stuff around. So again, you can't just shoot people for property crimes, totality of the circumstances, the intent involved. If he had the mailbox in his hand and the mom was at the front door and he's trying to jam it, yeah, then I could have shot him. But again, I want to set the standard for cops cannot just show up on scene like this with a guy drugged out of his mind and shoot him for ripping apart gas station equipment. Can they draw? The then question is, can they draw down on him because that's deadly force? I'm kind of torn on that one too, because is deadly force necessary for this? It's a property crime. I'm going to go in this circumstance, even though I would have, and I did draw my pistol. Hindsight, I would say in this, because there's no one around, and he's just trying to destroy property. Taser. You draw the taser and you threaten him with that. But let's back up for a second because I was talking.
Two deputies arrived at the scene at 3:12 a.m. Deputies observed the male, later identified as 36-year-old LaVincer Swanson, behaving erratically and damaging the fuel pumps at the business. The deputies instructed Swanson to stop and lay on the ground. Swanson laid down on the ground but became combative as deputies attempted to place handcuffs on him. Both deputies deployed their tasers as they worked to gain control of Swanson. Swanson continued fighting, causing one deputy to drop his taser.
Okay. No sound. I'm just going to let this play as we all watch together.
The struggle continued as deputies repeatedly instructed Swanson to stop fighting. One deputy then fired her duty weapon twice, striking Swanson in the torso.
Let's go off of this for a second first, and let's look at this. Number one, remember, I said DEI. I'm going to tell you, if you could see up at the top of the screen here, this cop looks like a fat cop. If you guys are not in shape, and this is why I truly think that law enforcement needs to have criminal standards for your cops if you are not in shape. You're the ones who need to be prosecuted if you don't keep yourself in shape. Because the fatter you get, what happens? You lose your wind in a fight, right? The more cardiovascularly out of shape you are. And if you're losing in the fight like these two deputies, what happens? You're the ones who escalate that use of force. You know what I'm saying? So if you had two deputies, I know everyone's on the BJJ craze. I never did it. I've done Wing Chun for the last almost 30 years, and I've been a wrestler since 1988. So I'm sorry, BJJ, great. All right, you guys do it, awesome. But if these cops were in shape and they had Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, do you think that they would have been this ineffective taking someone into custody? Don't forget, studies show that 75% of resisting arrests come from when the subject first hears that first cuff click. It's exactly what happened in this scenario. So let's look. You have an
Deputies observe the male.
You have that's a fat cop. Fat cop standing over somebody with a taser. Guy complies.
Later identified as 36-year-old.
All right, they go ahead and they go, all right, to handcuff on. Someone holds him at taser point. I would have sat there, knee in the back, take an arm. All right, the second you know he starts resisting like this, Listen, let's talk about the dynamic human body. You're fat, you're out of shape, you're bending over like that, you're going to get blood pressure drop. Get down, knee right in the back, and then pin a wrist down and start going from there. They didn't have control. Here's another deputy. These are fat deputies who cannot bend over properly. They've already lost the fight because they're out of shape. They go to handcuff, the guy starts resisting. Pulls a taser out. Taser's ineffective. One cop is doing all the work. The other one is doing nothing. This is what happens when you focus on DEI. This is what happens when you allow your cops to become fat fucking pigs, is they literally can't do the job. So now instead of a effective cop on top taking control of the subject and another effective cop who is helping, you now have one cop fighting by himself, because I'm assuming this is the male on top of him, and he's not gaining any ground on him whatsoever for being able to put him in cuffs. And then this useless cop who is doing nothing. Just look, I'm going to move this. I'm going to try. This is an ineffective partner. This cop now is fighting 2-on-1. Takes a step back. Now she draws to her pistol.
As deputies repeatedly instructed Swanson to stop fighting. One deputy then fired her duty weapon twice, striking Swanson.
Okay, she just fired. This is what needs to be completely, you can't ignore this. You can't ignore this. So you have two deputies, both fat and out of shape and in fucking effective. And you're trying to take him into cuffs and you can't. So because you can't take him into handcuffs or custody, you then escalate the level of force and you go to your firearm for deadly force. Why is this deadly force? He was resisting. How is this deadly force applicable? It's deadly, and this is why I can't stand. And when the public sits there and criticizes and they condemn good police shootings because they take the ability to then subjectively criticize good police or bad police shootings, they put on the same level. And this is why cops, you guys would be so much easier to defend if you all had the same standard of personal excellence, taking care of yourself, tactics trained, know the law, and all this shit. This is I want to get this straight, because they couldn't take him into custody. Now the law, qualified immunity, is going to protect her because all of a sudden her perception of threat that she could articulate is, well, he fought off my partner, and if he couldn't take him into custody, I was terrified for my safety, so I shot him. Deadly force. Again, listen to me very carefully. The police resorted to deadly force, not because of what the subject did, which is what they're allowed to do, but because of what they couldn't do. That's not the standard. That's why this is dangerous as shit. The cops escalated to dangerous use of force, not because of what the subject was doing, but because of what they couldn't do. Right there. That's the biggest problem we have in law enforcement.
In the torso.
Get on the ground! Get on the ground!
All right, again, pointing his pistol at him, armchair quarterbacking. Is that deadly force applicable? No. There's no one. Use of deadly force is used to terminate life-threatening behavior. What's the life-threatening behavior? Well, he could have set the gas station on fire. The pumps are turned off. 100% guarantee the clerk inside turned the pumps off. All right, so what's the deadly? So again, this is learning objective for you cops out there. Can you justify deadly force in this scenario? No, you can't. He's not doing anything to destroy our life. It's to terminate life-threatening behavior, not terminate destructive property behavior. So keep that in mind. Pistol out? No, I can't support it.
No, it's I won't at one point. Get on the ground! It's gonna be a black male, black shirt, brown pants. He's not complying. Get on the ground, I'm gonna fucking tase you. Get on the ground, I'm gonna tase you. Get on the ground. Put your fucking hands behind your back. Put them behind your back.
I'm good with the language. Doesn't bother me at all. Put your motherfucking hands behind your back. Good for you. Good commands.
Don't you fucking move.
Fine.
I want this one to take. Put your hands behind your back.
What? Okay, automatically. This is it. Watch her fumble with these cuffs. This shooting was police escalated because they could not do their job. This is the one thing that you guys as cops really have to understand. You can't hide behind Graham v. Connor, Tennessee versus Garner, qualified immunity and say, well, I'm articulating that the subject did X, Y, and Z. The subject did X, Y, and Z because you couldn't do A, B, and C. Look at her fumble with these cuffs as she walks up.
Put him behind your back. Don't you fucking move.
No sense of urgency. No. Oh my God. No sense of urgency. She's got the latch out. So what that means for those who are playing at home, when we have handcuffs out, you want the spring to do the work. You press into the spring. You're preloaded. Mine were always preloaded about here, and then you press into it. You don't slam onto it. Press into it, right? You can see she's got the cuff out with the latch like this, ready to go. These are inexperienced, untrained police officers.
Bring it back.
My God. I want to hear him if he's bitching. Hang on.
Hands behind your back. Hands behind your back. Bring it back. Oh my God. Hey, put your hands behind your back.
Yeah, neither one of them had control over it. Needs to be knee right in the back. Go ahead and just prevent his hips from coming up. Pin an arm down, go elbow and wrist control, arm right in the back of the neck. There's a lot of shit they didn't do because they don't know how to do it.
Now! Get on your stomach! Get on your stomach now! Get on your fucking stomach! Do not move! Do not fucking move! Do you hear me? I will tase you. Put your hands behind your back. Put it behind your back now. Get on your stomach! We're fighting one. I got my taser.
This is fight or flight. The guy's resisting now because of the pain of the taser. They didn't go with the cartridge round that shot out the probes. They went the drive stun, it looks like, and that's a pain compliance. And the guy's already fucking yacked out of his mind on drugs. He's going to fight or flight.
Fuck you, motherfucker. Yeah, fuck you.
I've said before too in use of force videos, this is why you say stop arrest or stop resisting. So the public doesn't hear you say fuck you, motherfucker. Well, now it's a personal intent. If you are a fat, untrained, lazy fucking cop like these two here, you're gonna get personal because you're gonna get your ass in the fight lost. You're gonna get your ass kicked right there. These two inept, piss poor representatives of law enforcement probably fucking don't know. They have no standards for themselves. They're on the job losing the fight, so they're going to get personal. His mindset is already, I'm not a cop anymore. I'm trying to survive the fucking fight. Actively resisting. What can he do? You can rain down bombs on this guy to get him to comply. This is not deadly force right now. This is a subject who is trying to escape an arrest. He hasn't done any death or great bodily harm. You can't go to deadly force. However, politicians, this is where a rear naked choke would have ended this immediately, you dumb fucks who have just ruined law enforcement. But I would start raining down kidney shots. You need to take a wrist, take an elbow in that position, and this is where cops need to crank the shit out of it. I don't care if they break his shoulder to get it in handcuffs. This is where you go from 0 to red to get him in cuffs as aggressively, violently as possible within the level of force that you're allowed to use. She shot because they were losing. These two cops need to be criminally charged. At least her. She needs to be criminally charged. She shot because she was losing the fight, not because they couldn't get him into cuffs. Big difference.
Shots fired! Shots fired! Shots fired! Shots fired, shots fired.
You hear, out of breath. Anybody who's ever tried to take somebody into custody, 30 seconds is an eternity. It's ridiculous when you can't do it. So this is why you need to train hard, be in shape, know the law, know your tactics, all this shit. This guy died because of criminal, negligent police behavior, at least on the female cop.
No, it's the daily one, and I'm going. Here's social traffic, emergency traffic. One of them, black shirt, brown pants. He's not complying. That's fair, male, not complying.
I got him, I got him, I got him. Keep your hands down.
No sense of urgency.
Put your hands behind your back.
Put your hands behind your back. Bring it back.
Let me get this one.
Hey, put your fucking hands down.
Put your hands behind your back.
Hey,
now.
put him down.
Get
Put
on
him
your
down.
stomach. Get on your stomach now.
Put him down
Get
now.
on your fucking stomach. Do not move. Do not fucking move. You hear me?
She has no idea how to handcuff.
Put your hands behind your back. Put
No
it behind
idea.
your back now.
Should have put that knee right in the back of the elbow, right compressed right down into the spine, into the ground. Used her body weight. That's the only thing she would have had advantage on, but she didn't know how to use it.
Get on your stomach.
This motherfucker.
Oh, you could hear her. She doesn't know what she's doing, this motherfucker.
Get on your stomach.
This motherfucker.
She thinks her boy here is going to bail her out of a bad situation. She doesn't know what she's fucking doing. At least he tries to get the legs in for there a little bit. All right, good job. Put his body weight on him.
This motherfucker, stop! Oh, fuck.
She's fumbling. This police officer needs to be criminally charged. We need to start sending a message to cops out there. Your failure to do the job should result and will result in criminal charging. She shot this guy because she has no idea what she's fucking doing. You need to charge then all of her sergeants and commanders and chief, whoever allowed this person to pass to be put on the street. This man died because this female cop didn't know what she was doing. She needs to be criminally held accountable.
Fuck! Let go of him! Fuck! What's wrong with this motherfucker? Fuck! Stop, dude! Let him go! No! Let him fucking go! Let him go, dude! I'm about to fucking shoot you! Let him fucking go!
Oh my God, look at her hand positions on this pistol. She doesn't even know how to use a pistol. Oh my fucking God.
No! Let him go! Oh my God, I don't want to fucking shoot him. Let him go! Oh, Corey, I'm gonna have to.
She shoots completely with her partner in the line of fire. This cop needs to be criminally charged. I don't know how much more fucking clear we need to get. Shoots him twice.
Are you okay?
Fired.
Did I hit you? Sit down. Sit down. Don't fucking move. Don't fucking move.
Right there. Somebody saw it. Right in the head.
I need y'all to hurry up.
Social traffic, emergency traffic. 104. Black shirt, brown pants. He's not complying. That's fair, male, not complying.
How much more do we need for police officers to be aware that your failure to train should and needs to result in criminal charging? And you can't keep backing. This is what I talked about in the beginning. Well, the guy could have done this, and from the police's point of view, and then you've got the citizen's point of view, which is, well, the cop should have done this. The guy, the subject, from the police's point of view, if you're defending her and you say, well, the guy could have done this, that's because of her failure to do X, Y, and Z. Now, I gave leeway, massive leeway, to the cops who shot a 17-year-old autistic boy the other day because of the fact that the kid had a weapon, and edged weapons are more dangerous than firearms, and the totality of the circumstances. In that circumstance, we had two subjects fighting armed with a knife, intoxication. It was a different scenario. This, you have no subject being attacked, no weapon involved, and property being damaged. And you have zero sense of urgency from a female cop. You can't keep defending her. She lost this fight because she didn't know what she was doing. You need to look at her training records. You need to look at how much time she spends on social media on duty. You need to look at, this is where we need to start holding cops at a higher level of standard, and they start needing to be criminally accountable. There's no other way this changes, because you're going to get cops who go, fuck, man, I need to lose 50 pounds now because I'm not going to be the next one whose head is on the chopping block because I lost the fight. And now all of a sudden they're starting to see, ooh, yeah, it's not that the subject fucked around and found out. It's that I couldn't do my shit. Again, female cop goes right to a gun because she can't do the job.
Swanson was taken by EMS to an area hospital where he was pronounced deceased. The male deputy was also transported by EMS to a different area hospital where he was treated for his injuries and later released. The information included in this video is preliminary. As of the release date of this video, an investigation into this incident is ongoing.
Yeah, you have a drugged out of his mind subject who was committing felony criminal damage to property based on the dollar amount. It's not state-supported property and all this shit. There was nobody around, so and he was not a threat to the public, and the cops could not take him into custody. This guy lost his life because cops didn't know how to do their job. This is a clear, you need to start, the state's attorneys or the Department of Justice needs to start on a federal level. This guy lost his job, or lost his life, excuse me. This is a constitutional violation. It wasn't afforded due process properly. So we need to have federal prosecution, Fourth Amendment violation. It was a wrong force that was used on this scenario. We need to start having criminal charges on a federal level for these cops. Well, I was told years ago in a class it was 2 years mandatory prison. This female cop needs to be made an example of. Wrong use of force, bad use of force because she couldn't do the job. Piss poor proper training. Start investigating everyone in that department and then start criminally charging all the commanders who passed her through the fucking system. They put a dangerous, inept police officer on the street and she murdered someone because she could not do her job. We're going to do it to citizens and hold them to a standard of accountability. Same thing with the fucking police. This is my 2-cent breakdown on this. I'm very much looking forward to see what you guys have in the comments section. Don't forget to join us live on Wednesday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern. Call in. We talk about these scenarios. You can leave me a voicemail or a text message to the line that you see right there, and we're having a conversation. Guys, this is a shitty shooting. This one, I am not on the police's side. If you're a cop, review this over and over and over again. The law does not back you on this one. The use of force was not proportional from the public's point of view, and it's not what an objectively reasonable police officer would use. Just because somebody is fighting and you're standing there, you go to your pistol? No. There was no threat of great bodily harm or death. Sorry. So it does not meet the objectively reasonable standard at all. This was a cop did not know what to do, so she murdered someone instead. That's it. I'll look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Be safe.